what we're looking at here, grafted eggplants. I grafted these, I don't remember now, is it 2 weeks? It must be about 2 weeks. And we're going to have an update on them. So what they're on is the grafted roots, or the rootstock, which is the Solanum, devil's, I can't remember the name of it anymore. I call it devil's plant, or yeah, basically devil's plant. You all know the name. I'm terrible with remembering names, let alone the plant names. So that's the rootstock, the devil plant, if you like, Solanum. That is the eggplant that I grafted on top. That is a little bit soft there, or a little bit sort of on the dry side, but that's the original leaf. So that hasn't quite kicked off. But what you'll notice is the rootstock itself wants to grow. So that's the leaf pushing on again so it can take over. We need to remove those, and what we have to do is prevent it from growing so that it keeps steering its energy towards the graft on top. So let's have a look at the next one. Each one has got a different stage. That's taken off. That's holding, oh, it's taken off as well. We've got little growth coming on there. It's not super active, but it's only been a couple of weeks, but you can see down below, more growth coming on. So we just got to peel all that off. So that's doing pretty well. Let me find one that's actually, oh, well, it's staring right at me. You've probably seen it already. Have a look at that. So that's done wonderfully well. Now, if you haven't seen the grafting on this, if you're on Facebook, good luck finding it. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to scroll down to the grafting parts and vegetables. Now I've taken off the little butterfly clip. There are other specific clips, but I find these to work really well. These are initially, I suppose, we brought them out for orchids, things like that, with little tiny bamboo stakes. So we've put that on to hold the graft that we've done there. So it's a basic split. You'll be able to see that on video. I'm not going to go through that. Now the benefit of this, for those who want to know, well, you've got a stronger root system, and it's a perennial. It'll last, well, more than a perennial, it'll last you year after year, basically. It grows into a big shrub. So you can graft on top of that and keep your eggplants going, providing you've got the right climate for it, for about 5 years, 7 years, maybe longer if you like. Now, that's what I've done here, and slowly but surely they're taking off. Now, I want to show you. So the cuttings that I've taken off here, so remember, this had a little shoot, we cut it off, and we replanted that. So that's the shoot there, well, one of the many shoots, and you can see that's the rootstock tip cutting that we discarded. And here comes Leia, right at me. Okay, just sit down, ignore her. That's taken off. Now we're going to do that and propagate that continuously. So every time we do a cutting, we're going to stick that in the ground, any offcuts. So oh, come on, Leia, get out of the way. The other part also, we don't throw away the base of the eggplant. So that's basically, if you can see that piece there, or one of these pieces, but that there, that's come off the top of that. All right, and now we've got all the new shoots coming up, that'll multiply at the bottom, and we've still got our original seedling, and we've still got our original rootstock, and we've got a cutting grafted on top, and we've propagated one as well. So we've increased in plant quantity, not decreased, and we haven't sacrificed anything here. That's all we've done. So if you're doing grafting, folks, always remember, plants are very forgiving. They will give it a go to grow, but if you start off with a bad quality, you're going to end up with bad quality overall. And what do I mean by that? Here, come over here. These are the big malakas. Just a side note about quality of seedlings. When they start bad, generally they end up pretty bad. These little ones here, they're the same batch as these ones here. Now, we haven't got the hothouse. This is a makeshift hothouse. You all know about this one. So I've got them sitting in these pots here, and I'm purposely keeping them slow in growing because I don't want these to take off too fast because I'm not bloody ready with a hothouse, am I? A big one outside. So that's getting there. But what I've done is these little ones here were the youngest or smallest of all plants, and they had some discoloration from young happening and struggling to actually grow. This angle that you see here is because of the wind blowing onto it. Now that's had a bit of dieback, that one as well. Same age. It's not so much they were only slow to take off, so I suppose in inferior quality compared to these ones, but the reality is that as soon as you put up a little plant from a small pot like this into a larger pot like that, that growth is relative to the space it has. Here's another one. Can you see that? That's smaller than that, that's smaller than that because of the pot size. Now you do not put a tiny little seedling for example, like this one here, please ignore the mulch, birds get in here. Like this, for example, that's not going in the ground, folks. That really is the same age as this, and it's not going anywhere. But let's say that was a healthy little seedling. At that stage, you would not transplant this into a pot. You'd get away with that, but nothing larger than that. From this size to that size is max. Otherwise, you're going to rot out the roots because it's got no root system to absorb all that moisture, excess moisture, and that's why they go backwards. So, quality of seedlings starts from the beginning. You can build a health in them, but at the end of the day, they're always going to be a shit quality if you buy. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. If you're buying your seedlings and they're of inferior quality, and we're talking about quality of seed as well, because it starts from there. Quality of soil, it also starts in there when they sow the seeds. So always do your research and understand what you're buying, not just by price. And if you're looking for long life eggplants like those there, well, we'll be building on them. So we've got 10 or 12 here. Hopefully we'll end up having 100 in the coming weeks, months, and then in the thousands. We'll get them all over Australia, weeds growing everywhere. Facilitiesgarden.com. And if you like what we do, folks, because we're going back on the road again to see some more home gardens, because plenty out there as the season progresses, please support us by going on our website and finding a product that you'd love to use in your garden. And if you're looking to try something you haven't tried before, well, try our Black Grit and Superfood. You'll be surprised at the results, especially if you've been using other products in your garden. It'll unlock all those nutrients and minerals that get locked up when there's too much of this synthetic stuff in there. So facilitiesgarden.com, support us by shopping online or in-store, click and collect, and we can keep bringing you this great content that we love doing every day. Cara, come here. All right, it's her turn now. From me, Vasily, Maresi. Good girl. Oh, there we go.